I would like to say that I'm really, really concerned about all the correspondence I've received on scams. They can really take you in, and the wording on all the correspondence sounds very genuine. But then when you look into it and find that they require details of your bank numbers, etc., etc., then quite honestly, everyone should be very wary of it.
We moved into the village here back in 2010, and we moved my parents into the same village at the same time. Mum had been having some issues, I knew already, with mail and deliveries, etc., where they used to live for several years, I would imagine. And my dad had always told me about it, but I'd never really got involved too much because my dad was still around in those days. Sadly, he passed away just after we moved into the village, but fortunately, with both us and my mum still in the same village, it meant that I was all of a sudden much closer to her. And I could take care of her more readily and keep an eye on what was going on. So I decided I needed to, step up my intervention a little bit. So I spoke to her at length about the problem in the very early days, and as you often hear said now is, oh no, why would people send me this stuff if it wasn't true? I come from an age when people trust people. You don't do things like that. Just you wait and see. I'm going to win £25,000, or they've sent me this gift or that gift, etc., etc.
If older people, especially older people, and they're the ones that are most likely to be scammed, are getting loads and loads of mail, then I think it's our duty to report it. And we have a national scams team, we have trading standards, we have CAB, we have the police, so there's plenty of opportunities for people to report a possible scam. Crime these days, I think, people no longer have to get a swag bag and a striped jersey and a mask and go out at the middle of the night in all sorts of weather in order to burgle people and things like that. They can sit very comfortably in their own rooms with computers and hit thousands of people all at the same time. And I think everyone should be aware of this.
I always say to Mum, when you receive something through the post, which is emblazoned with bold graphics or large sums of money plastered across them and statements saying you are a guaranteed winner or check guaranteed or something like that, it's easy to spot no matter who it's from, and it's not real. It's not, or it's so unlikely to happen. You really mustn't get involved.
Common examples of mass marketing scams include prize draws, free trial and free product offers, communications asking for financial help, investment offers, psychic scams, communications about winning a lottery you didn't enter, pyramid selling schemes, and home working schemes offering unrealistic earnings. So what do all mass marketing scams have in common? Well, they sound too good to be true. You have to send money. If you send money, you're unlikely to receive anything in return, and once you have engaged with the scammer, the letters will keep on coming.
It is very difficult sometimes for people, vulnerable people, I think, to believe the very closest people to them. And that's why, for me, I think the big difference, the tipping point, if you like, was when people in the village, the local doctor, our solicitor, happened to say these things to her about the problems. And that's when the message started getting home. And I think probably when she started listening to me a little bit more.
The one thing we can all do to help fight scams is to talk about them. Talk about them in the post office or at the doctor's, or maybe even when you're at work. Talk about them to people who might not be able to watch this video.
Gradually, and as I say, it was gradual. It took several years really to make the difference. It was a very, very sort of slow process. Mum started to realise, and we're at a situation now where she doesn't open the mail. She keeps it to show me, and she, I believe, feels really proud that she's not opening it. And she hands it to me and says, there's another load. And she still does get, despite me writing to some of these companies to say stop sending the stuff, she still gets material from them occasionally. And it's annoying, but she doesn't open it. And I always sort of say to her, Mum, I'm so proud of you for doing that. And I know she likes that, and she feels really, really special.
As well as talking about scams in your community, you can also get advice if you or someone close to you has been affected by a scam from Citizens Advice. They can give free, impartial advice as well as passing the information from your call to Trading Standards. You can also report possible scams to Action Fraud. This video was brought to you by Devon and Somerset Trading Standards Service. To find out more about scams, including how we work with the National Scams Team and Citizens Advice, please visit our website at www.devonsomersettradingstandards.gov.uk.